What if I told you guys that the most iconic vitamin C serum just lost its patent, and Melasma, she still doesn't care because she's a bitch of a condition? Who the hell am I? I'm Dr. Shereene Idriss. I'm a board-certified dermatologist with over 12 years experience, and I've treated nearly thousands of patients. I myself struggle with melasma, and the truth is, after I went through IVF and had my pregnancies, my melasma flared up overnight and these brown patches appeared on my face and I looked like the crypt keeper. So when I tell you guys, I understand not just the physical impact it can have on your skin, but the emotional toll it can take on your mental well-being. I have lived through it. So today we're going to talk about the truth and break down the truth about vitamin C. We're going to go through the CE ferulic patent drama, and we're going to talk about pigmentation and melasma in particular not being something you can fix with a single ingredient or even laser. We're going to talk dupe culture, laser myths, and yes, how your own phone might be blowing up your face. But before I do all of that, I just want to announce that I'm the founder, if you guys didn't know, of a skincare brand called Dr. Idriss. And on our website, we have a 15% sale happening site-wide with free shipping on any purchase order until Monday. So if you haven't checked it out or tried it out yet, please go ahead and check it out. I will link it below. So let's jump in. Melasma is a chronic pigmentary disorder that is hormonally triggered. Think your period, birth control pills, pregnancy, menopause. But what makes it a nightmare is that not only does it affect the superficial layer of the skin, the epidermis, it can affect the deeper layers of the skin, your dermis as well. And that is why you got to be on top of this condition every single day of the year, 365 days of the year, because not only can hormones trigger it, but so can heat, the sun, stress. A lot of things that are out of our control can trigger the melasma. So you don't want it to trigger to its full extent and to wake up to its full extent and flare overnight. And that is why you need to be on top of it through skincare. Also want to make sure that you guys know, not all hyperpigmentation is melasma. Not all brown spots are melasma, but all melasma is hyperpigmentation and all melasma has brown spots. And if you think wrinkles are the first sign of you looking older, or if you think your wrinkles or your fine lines are aging you, I want you guys to think again, because an uneven skin tone is the #1 sign of aging. It's what makes you look ruddy. And if you have an even skin tone, you can get away with a lot more. Let's talk now vitamin C. Vitamin C is a skincare hero. This is the holy grail ingredient when it comes to skincare, maybe underneath retinoids. It's an antioxidant, so it's going to fight free radicals. It's a brightener, it's a pigment suppressor, and it can even help boost your own SPF to work smarter for you. But when you have melasma, inflammation is your enemy, and not all vitamin C's are created equal. L-ascorbic acid, which is the active form of vitamin C, the most effective form of vitamin C, and it is the most powerful form of vitamin C, and that's the one that is found in Ceuticals, CE ferulic. But ascorbic acid is extremely acidic and extremely irritating for many people, and I've seen this in my practice with my patients. And irritation leads to inflammation and redness and swelling. And what can that trigger? It can trigger your melasma and make your flare-ups worse. That is why I personally love vitamin C derivatives like THD ascorbate, which is found in my active seal, by the way, for this particular and specific reason. THD ascorbate is a vitamin C ester, which is geared towards sensitive skin. It's not active, but it gets activated once applied to your skin, and you can use it 24 hours a day, morning and evening, because it's not going to irritate your skin, so you can combine it with other powerful ingredients like retinoids. It's much gentler, it's more stable, it's less inflammatory, it's better tolerated long-term if you have melasma, because there's less irritation, less inflammation, and fewer flare-ups. But let's talk now about CE ferulic, the SkinCeuticals vitamin C that has been iconic for the past few decades. And it has a great reputation for a reason. They have a patent on their particular ratio of vitamin C, vitamin E, and ferulic acid at 15% L-ascorbic acid, 1% vitamin E, and 0.5% ferulic acid. And this patented stabilization system has made it super effective over the years. But here's the tea. In March 2025, they lost their patent. So the dupe gates are going to open and flood your shelves. We're talking now about two very big contenders. One has been around for a few years. It's not exactly a dupe in the sense that it is extremely specific in the ratios, but it has the same ingredients. It has vitamin C, vitamin E, and ferulic acid, but the ferulic acid is at 1% instead of 0.5%, and I'm talking about Timeless. I absolutely love this vitamin C serum. It's extremely affordable. It is the active form of vitamin C, and it comes in a pump, so you're not dealing with a dropper, and it's not going to oxidize fast. What do I mean by oxidizing? If you've ever bought a skin Ceuticals CE ferulic, it turns brown pretty quick, and that just means it's oxidized. We got to toss it. It's not going to work. At least here it's in a pump. That doesn't mean it has zero exposure to air, but the exposure is much less and therefore is going to oxidize much slower. Second one, which just came out, is by e.l.f. This one is in the exact same ratio as the CE ferulic at the 15%, 1%, and 0.5%. But I also want you guys to keep in mind that ingredients do not make a recipe, okay? Just keep that in mind if you are going to try it. Think of a chocolate chip cookie. How many variants of chocolate chip cookies are on the market when we all know it has sugar, flour, chocolate chips, baking soda, whatever else they put in it, okay? But not all chocolate chip cookies are created equal. And so I just want you guys to keep that in mind because it has ascorbic acid. It may be tempting, but it can also be extremely irritating and it might not be super stable and only time will tell. If you have melasma, I would just approach all of these very, very, very conservatively because you don't want to irritate or inflame your skin. Now let's talk lasers and melasma. So I am focused on cosmetic in my practice. I have over 10 lasers in my practice. I see patients 5 days a week. But lasers for melasma, for me, it's a no, especially if you've never tried anything or worse, you're not on a consistent skincare routine. Because why? Melasma is heat sensitive. If you're going to be targeting pigment through a laser system, what does a laser usually generate? Heat. Even lights like IPL or BBL, which are not technically lasers, that they stand for intense pulsed light, are extremely heat producing when they attack your skin because it is kind of an attack to your skin. And that heat can maybe make your pigment look better today because it's going to help break it up through the specific mechanism of the laser or the light device. But in the long run, that heat can make your skin more sensitive to more heat. And therefore your melasma can flare much faster in the summer, even though you might not be sitting necessarily under the sun. So the best analogy I have for you guys, if you have melasma particularly, or even sun damage under the surface of your skin, is that your skincare routine is your gym. That is what you're doing every day to keep that pigment quiet. And your laser treatment is the liposuction to get those stubborn, hard, fat places that never go away with the gym, okay? Your lasers are liposuction. Your skincare routine is the gym. Another analogy, if you're not into liposuction, is let's talk about the dentist. You brush your teeth every day, but you still go to the dentist for a deep cleaning. You brushing your teeth every day, that's your skincare routine. You going for the deep cleaning, that's your laser treatment. But never do a laser treatment if you're not militant with a skincare routine that targets pigmentation, because if you do that, you're only going to set yourself up for disaster and you're going to lose thousands of dollars down the road. And what I'm telling you here is exactly what I tell my patients behind closed doors. I don't want them to waste money, even though I would be benefiting from them paying me. So let's get into your skincare routine and what your skin actually needs. Obviously, vitamin C, but now we know that not all vitamin C is created equal. And even though you may be tempted to go for the L-ascorbic acid, if you have melasma, just be careful and be aware. Also, sunscreen, it's a non-negotiable every single day, and you probably have to double down on that. But you really want to look for a bunch of pigment suppressors. All of these ingredients, from glycolic acid, lactic acid, tranexamic acid. You want tyrosinase inhibitors like kojic acid, arbutin, even licorice root. Niacinamide can help minimize inflammation, and now we know that inflammation can make your melasma worse. You also want to use, obviously, vitamin C, ideally not in an irritating form, especially if you're sensitive, and certain peptides can also help as well. All of this is found in my Major Fade Solution System, which is the 3 products, and I try to simplify all these ingredients into 3 products, and I will link below a video that you guys should check out if you haven't checked it out, which is Fade Dark Spots. It is going to be your holy grail step by step into what you need to incorporate into your skincare routine if you want to have an even skin tone. But I would say the 3 ingredients that I left out on purpose are number 1, hydroquinone, because that is the gold standard for treating melasma, but it is available only through prescription, and honestly, rightfully so, because you cannot be on hydroquinone long term. Number 2 are retinoids as a whole. I didn't want to incorporate retinoids into my Major Fade Solution System because I want you guys to know the type of retinoid you're using, and I want to make sure you can tolerate it. If I had put it in here and you're getting inflamed, it's going to make your melasma worse. So that is why I left it out. You guys should be on top of your own retinoids, and it should not be something that is part of a system. It should be on its own. Number 3, azelaic acid, because it is extremely hard to put into a product with other actives without pilling. And so azelaic acid for pigmentation specifically is best at 15%, and you can only get that through prescription in the US of America. So without further ado, melasma though is also a lifestyle condition. It's not just skincare, it's not just lasers, it's not just prescriptions, it's also what you do every day. So what do you need to watch out for? Obviously, sun exposure. You can even get sun through windows because UVA penetrates windows and can heat up your skin and make your melasma worse. Heat, I mentioned, hot yoga, steam, sauna, long hot showers, all of that can make your melasma triggered and flared up. Now, phones and laptops, it's not going to be the blue light that wakes your melasma up. It's the heat generated from the phone. So if you're talking a lot on the phone and it's on your face, that infrared heat can cause flare-ups to happen. So that's why I always FaceTime people. That's why I started Pillow Talk Derm. I actually hate holding the phone to my face. And guess where my melasma flares up the worst? On the right side of my face, because that's how I hold my phone. Hormonal changes, pregnancy, menopause, IVF can all trigger it, as well as stress, because when you're stressed, you have higher cortisol levels, and cortisol causes a pigment party. So what do you need to do instead? Obviously, wear the sunscreen every day, make sure you reapply every 2 hours, and try to stay on the shady side of the street. Don't go outside if you're really sensitive to heat between the highest UV index peaks, which is usually between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. when the sun is at its strongest, especially in summer. And if you are going to be outside, make sure you stay somewhere shady with a cool breeze. Use a sun shield, not a baseball cap. A baseball cap is only going to protect this part of your face. A UV visor, and we have some on my website. Bluestone makes a bunch of them. If you don't want to purchase it from my website, it will protect your face, neck, and chest. And the thing I absolutely love is a cooling neck fan. It looks like a Bose headset, but it's going to cool you down and keep your skin nice, cool, calm, collected. Now, red light therapy for me is a hard no if you have melasma, because red light therapy can also cause infrared heat, and that can stimulate melasma, as well as the visible light, which is technically the red light, that can stimulate your melanocytes, that can cause a flare-up to get worse. Take it from me, I've tried the red light devices for myself. I don't actually use them. I think they have a lot of benefits for collagen production for other people. I don't use them because I would rather stimulate my collagen in other ways and not wake my melasma up, because it has woken me up. Now, you don't have to be perfect. These are all suggestions. You don't have to do all of these things. And I don't want you guys to be scared of living life, but the more you cool it, literally and figuratively, the better your melasma will be, because melasma is extremely stubborn. It is really, 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 really hard to deal with, but it is manageable with the right tools that you do every single day. And I want you guys to remember that vitamin C is not a magic bullet. It's not created equal across the board. And even though you have the chance now to buy a $20 dupe to the CE Ferulic, which was $190, be careful before you spend your money and think about the vitamin C that you're using on your skin. Drop your favorite vitamin C serums below. Or I'm curious, what are your biggest melasma triggers if you're somebody who actually struggles with melasma? And if you want a side-by-side comparison, a showdown between CE Ferulic and e.l.f., or CE Ferulic and Timeless, or CE Ferulic and e.l.f. and Timeless, let me know. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know what you guys want to learn about next week. If you're ready to build your skincare routine from scratch, start by watching my Fade Dark Spots video, which I will link below, because that is going to be your playbook. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a beautiful Saturday, and I will see you guys next time.